Hi and welcome to a Crop and Crate delivered spring kit video. In this video I'm going to be using this sketch to use some of the products that come in the spring Crop and Crate delivered kit. So this is an 8.5 by 11 inch sketch, and it starts with a basic rectangular shape to fit in your 8.5 by 11 inch albums. And to do that I'm going to start with the pattern paper. It has a swirl on one side, but I'm going to use this watercolor washed side as the basis. Then on the sketch you'll notice that there is a pattern paper that runs down the side, and I'm going to use this polka dot for that part of the sketch. And then for this block right here I'm going to use some of the cardstock. But before I place anything down, I want to do something fun to the cardstock, and that is to add some background stamping. To do that, you're going to need some kind of a base. If you need help with pressure on your stamping, you can also stamp on a flat surface. I prefer to use a foam core base. You're going to need a stamp color that is a slightly darker color than the cardstock. I'm going to try Blue Bayou from Stampin' Up. You'll need the exclusive stamp set that comes with this kit, and I'm going to use this outline flower. And you'll need an acrylic block that is approximately the same size as the stamp. If you use one that is too small, you won't get enough pressure, and if you use one that is too large, sometimes it doesn't give you a clean stamp. So I'm going to use the back of this sketch paper as an extra piece of pattern paper. And then what I'm going to do is create my own pattern using this stamp. And I'll ink up the stamp. You can either press it into the ink or ink it at the top. And then I usually start with the image off the top of the page. So you can see I'm just creating a background. And then I'll repeat this image in a pattern. You could do a random pattern, or you can do a specific pattern like I'm doing here. And you can use any of the stamp images on the exclusive stamp set to do this technique. But this is a fun way to make your own pattern paper. You could use a different color and white cardstock for an entirely different look. It's completely up to you. Just creating a fun pattern, and it doesn't take very long to create patterns like these, but it creates a really fun, unique look for your layout. So you can see I've created my own pattern paper. Now let's go ahead and start assembling the actual page. So according to the sketch, we're going to place the pattern paper down first that I've created with cardstock. This is going to go on the right side of our layout. And then on the left side we'll add the pattern paper with the polka dots. And I've pre-cut these embellishments and papers so that they will fit perfectly together. So you can see on the sketch I've already created the two side pieces. So for the title on the sketch, you'll notice that it falls on the upper right corner, and from the kit are these fun rub-ons. And rub-ons were very, very hot about 7 years ago, maybe even a little longer than that, and they are making a big comeback in the industry. And they have included some in your kit this month. So if you haven't tried out a rub-on, basically the way I like to do it is I will cut the rub-on I want to use out from the backing, and I will see if it fits in the area that I want to use, and then the popsicle stick comes in the packaging, and you basically are burnishing the shape onto whatever paper you have in the background. Now before you peel away the entire rub-on, you need to check and make sure that the entire color goes on. And if you're peeling and you find that it hasn't, you can come back and re-burnish. So you don't want to pull off that top plastic piece before all of the color is down. And then I like to use my finger and just kind of finish re-burnishing it. So it's very bold and bright. At the bottom here, I'm going to add some stickers from the Crate Paper sticker sheet in the kit. First, I'm going to add this yellow pinked edge to kind of bring in some colors. I love the happy colors from this kit. And then I'm going to use the tickets and overlap them slightly. so that the bottom edge is off. And then on the sketch, there is a rickrack piece here, but there is ribbon included in this actual kit. So I thought it would be fun to use the ribbon. So I'm going to use the chevron design on the ribbon and cut out the bottom piece to a chevron shape. So you can see that has a nice chevron shape here. And then I'm going to add the ribbon to the page. And I'm going to tuck part of it behind the top of this layout. And you can do a couple of things to adhere this ribbon. I'm just going to use regular adhesive. Double-sided sticky tape is also a great way to do it. If you are comfortable machine stitching, that is another way you can do it as well. And again, we'll just poke that down at the top there. To the bottom corner, I'm going to use some of the Sprinkles enamel dots from Doodlebug Design, and they do come in a variety of colors from light to dark. So I'm going to combine a few of these colors to create a fun visual triangle and bring some of that pop of yellow down to that bottom corner. At the top of the layout, I'm going to add some additional stickers. I'm going to use this black label sticker from the Create Paper sticker sheet, and then I'm going to use from the My Mind's Eye sticker sheet this Teal Cool. I'm going to slightly overlap them. So we're starting to add some of the embellishments to the page. So now I wanted to add some of the flare badges from the collection kit, and one of them is a heart with a little bit of an ombre effect, and you can attach these just with a strong adhesive like a glue dot, which is what I'm using. Or you can use double-sided sticky tape or a wet adhesive, whatever you find that you like. Now, according to the sketch, across the top of the page, we're going to add some photos. And so we're going to do that with some black and white photos that I have pre-printed. And they were cut out at about 1.5 inches wide. So this works for a good measurement to go across this page. Now, you have a couple of options. You can do them just as they are shown. These are actually mounted on top of some different types of pattern paper. So what I did is I've taken some pattern paper and we're going to trim some and leave some straight and use them on this layout. And you can do that by just cutting out a variety of different shapes and widths of rectangles. You can use your supplies to use border punches, whatever you like, to dress up each individual block. I picked colors that were found in this polka dot section here. And then I'm going to play with some stickers a little bit here. And I'm going to attach them much like I would a piece of tape or a banner sticker. So you can see what that looks like. And then to the top corner, I'm going to add one of the die cuts from the nice ephemera pack. It's a light green one. I'm going to use glue dots because I have small glue dots. And just to that upper left corner. All of the pieces in this collection were purposely chosen because they matched and coordinated with one another. So you can mix and match any of the pattern papers to get your own look using the same sketch and the same layout as inspiration. So we'll mount the second one right in the middle of the banner. And then the third one is from the purple pattern paper, green on one side. And I want to show you how you can do off-centered pennants. You simply cut up from the bottom to about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, and then you can create a banner that is not equal on both sides, but it's a fun look. So again, we'll add this to the center here. And then this is a die cut from the ephemera pack. And to add this, I'm going to use some adhesive foam dots. So I'm trying to add some texture and I'm trying to add some depth to the page. And these are just little circle foam dots from American Crafts. We'll add this to the bottom here. And then from the sticker sheet by My Mind's Eye, we're going to add the You're Amazing. We'll add this one flat. Some of them I'll add flat and some of them I won't. And then to the upper corner of this one, I'm going to add a very small blue photo corner. And in the ephemera pack, there are 4 different photo corners, and they're all different colors and patterns so that you can mix and match, much like I'm doing here. And then to the right of the photo, I'm going to add a wow tab from the My Mind's Eye stickers. And then you can continue to embellish as much as you want. And what we'll do to attach these is not included in the kit is some twine. I'm just going to take some basic twine. You probably have plenty of this on hand. And you want to cut a length that is long enough to adhere to the page. And you can do this a couple of ways. You can do brads and attach them to brads. You can actually physically tie them to the page or use buttons to hold them in place, and then we'll attach the tags on top of the twine. So I'm just from my own stash pulling 2 small buttons, and I'm going to thread it down through one of the holes and come up through the other. And you'll want to use a twine that is thin enough to do this, or a button that has large enough holes to fit your twine through. So it'll look like this. And then you'll do the same thing for the other end. You'll go down and come up. However you do it, whether you go down through the button or you come up through the button, make sure you do it the same on both sides. Now what I will do is I will adhere one button on the left side, and then I will pull the string to the point at which I want the curve. So you could go straight across, or you can create a slight curve, which is what I want to do. Once I have the curve the way I want, then I can attach adhesive behind that secondary button. Do make sure that your buttons are the same distance from the top. You could do a diagonal. You could actually bring the button further down. I want to do it like this. And we'll trim off the excess twine. And now we can attach our tags. Now there are a few ways to do this. You can do this flat. You can use clothespins. You can use adhesive foam dots to pop one off the page. You can use paper clips. However you want to do it will work just fine. So I usually pick the tag that I want to stand out a little bit, and I pull that one aside, and we'll go ahead and attach these other tags. I'm going to use just a simple adhesive. Pull down that twine so that it creates the curve and creates the illusion that they are hanging from the twine. And then for this last one, I'm going to use adhesive foam dots to pop it off the page just a little bit. So just enough to kind of give it some height. You don't need to cover the whole back. And then we'll adhere this right in the center, and we'll slightly overlap the 2 tags we already placed down. Again, make sure that your twine is underneath the actual tags that we're using. And if you find your flares are too high, just simply reattach them a little further down. And now for the journaling, I'm just going to use a simple journaling pen and journal in this space down here and talk about how my daughter has a good life. So you can see that I've just added some journaling to that bottom section, but this layout ends up looking very much like the sketch provided. You can use any of the sketches with the kit to create your own layout, and think about ways that you can change this up by flipping sketches, changing it horizontally, using different pattern papers, or even just using different photos each time you use the sketch. Thank you for joining me for today's Crop and Crate delivered video. Watch for other videos that show how to use this beautiful spring kit.